Yeah, wake up. Hello, hello, hey, hey, hi, hi, hi. Yeah, it's me. It's your bro, big bro. You always know me. Always been in your heart. I was always a part of you in some kind of way. Spiritually. Don't think like that. Before we can get into this conversation, first of all, can you see my fit, my G? It's the goat. It's the goat. No, what? No, that might be Jay Z. I thought that was Basquiat the whole time. That might be Hove. Either way, you know what? They both kings. And what's crazy is most kings will get their head cut off. So we know who we here to talk about, but we only going to talk about beloved because of the bigger subject about black men and your goddamn self-esteem. Your self-esteem is low, buddy. I'm out here with the people. Like I really be with the people. I have done more interaction in a meaningful way with more people than almost 100% of you. All right, unless you're like a prostitute or like a streetwalker, maybe. You know what I'm saying? Other than that, so all right, boom. If you're a streetwalker, maybe you've interacted with more people than me. But I've interacted with a lot of people in a meaningful way, and I can tell you that when I talk to a lot of men, they don't be realizing it like, God damn, bro, your self-esteem is that low. Your self-esteem is that low that you accept that shit, or you have all these self-limits, because low self-esteem leads to self-limiting beliefs, beloved. I'll say it again. Yulu Umar action. Low self-esteem leads to self-limiting beliefs. And ladies, now listen, this is the part that really concerns you. The quality of life you live is based on work that men did in a society that men mostly maintain. It's just a fact. Okay. So I ask you, how can a nation be strong if the men all have low self-esteem? Because again, men have gotten to a point where they think these interactions are normal, and they don't pick up. Again, women are more socially advanced because they have more conversation, they speak more, and they interact with each other more often, whereas men don't interact with other people as much. So this is just like all men have had a time where a woman is pointing out a negative behavior that a woman is doing, and you're not really able to pick up on it as much. Or she's saying, nah, she was flirting with you. And I think we've all had that experience, right? Where your girlfriend's like, yo, she was flirting with you. And you will be like, what do you mean she was flirting with you? Because again, you're not picking up on intention and why. And also it could be a little creativity because women are very creative. That's how women like make up new shit and make up new problems. You know what I'm saying? Or make shit chaotic. You know what I mean? It is creativity, but that's the same creativity that makes her, want to get her nails done pretty, want to put on nice makeup, a nice outfit, make the house look nice. You know what I'm saying? Come up with a fun thing for the family to do. Get the family together, stuff like that. Things that make people happy. But anywho. So this self-esteem issue is important to me because I see it most prevalent in black men, because black men are, for the most part, raised to think like property. That we're raised to think that I'm only valuable if someone else benefits from me. Basically, I'm the last one. I should never be thinking about how I benefit from something. But that's how property would think if property had a mind. You know what I'm saying? Like for your dirty car, listen. It's cool. Your car probably dirty. Listen, you know what's gonna make it feel better? Have some kefir, milk kefir for your gut microbiome. Give you a happy gut. How about that? But you gotta have some vision. You have no vision, beloved. Got a little off subject there. Anywho. So it's very dangerous when someone has low self-esteem, because usually that also will mean that they probably don't have a strong foundation or I feel as though human beings, we have to live righteous, and we have to continue to develop our idea of right and wrong, and we benefit from a life where we develop, all right, that's right, that's wrong, and accepting that's right and that's wrong. Because listen, because this is a fact, if I do enough of the right things, I'm going to win. But there's no way to win by doing the wrong thing. And again, backwards thinking, when you that's backwards, literally backwards thinking, and it's evil to live backwards. But if I keep doing enough of the right thing, I'm going to win. But we got to realize, we got to recognize when someone is not doing the right things. A lot of times, you know what black folks be doing? Black folks dead ass like to congratulate black folks for just starting anything. Okay? And we like to always imagine that black people who've done something are like rich forever from doing that one thing. I mean, because the truth is too grim. Even when I was younger, the truth was too grim. I'm like, man, I wonder how much they get paid to be in this episode. You know what I'm saying? And when you get older, you realize like getting some kind of fame probably could be the worst thing for you, because that person becomes frozen in time. If they don't like progress and find a way to keep progressing, or if they're not extremely talented, they'll waste their entire life. There's people who wasted their whole life being an entertainer, and they still can't support themselves consistently, or they still never made it. This is why I went to school with, and like, yo, it's a talented person, but like it's obvious that this person, this is something that other people probably can't work with in a long-term way, because like, yo, this person is still not famous, and they like around all the right people and all this type of stuff, and they have features and all these things. But I'm like, damn, yo, like I'm turning 37. She's going to turn 38 this year. I'm like, God damn. That's crazy. But shout out to her though. So getting to our guy Lee Hill Bishop, Nature Boy, so earlier this year he was sentenced to life in jail due to his crime that he committed while leading his cult called the Carbonation. And I'm gonna show you a few clips from that. And I said I wanted to get into like, man, how does guy want to getting a life sentence? And when I started getting into this guy's story and started seeing, because again, I think I've seen him a time or two in 2019, 2020, some crazy shit. I just thought he was wild. I was like, man, what the hell are they at, man? It's like he in paradise or some shit. I think I watched more videos than I realized, but I mean, I wasn't really getting nothing out of it. That was my time where I started to learn that to start side-eyeing any nigga talking about just that spiritual word salad. It's like spiritual mumbo jumbo. You know what I mean? Where it's like when they touch on things and talk about things that don't have a cite, where I can't cite it, but they talk about it as if it's a fact and as if you should know it. But black people are suckers for anything that just sounds jazzy. We like some jazzy shit. We want some shit to sound jazzy. Like, ooh, nigga, Astro plane? You gonna put me on the Astro plane, daddy? That's how black folks be. Word, I shan't eat a cow, daddy. You know what I mean? Like, but that shit also comes from, again, like, yo, your sense of self. Having a strong sense of self is really important. It has a huge impact on how you make decisions and whatnot. You know what I mean? Especially when you have a scarcity mindset. Now, Nature Boy is someone who grew up with no family, and he was getting abused in the foster system from the time he was a little kid, being made to do child pornography. He grows up, you know what I mean, and pretty much is homeless off and on. And for the most part, all his relationships until this cult are all pretty much abusive relationships. And he also spent a little time in jail when he was younger. And I think that's where he leaves out. I mean, I think he definitely did some stuff in jail. Because again, when people are turned out like that when they're younger, you're going to see as time goes on that the attention for him, he sees attention how women see attention. He sees any kind of interaction or admiration how women see it, where it's like, to her, it feels the same. That's why a woman can argue with you or fight with you and still like really love you and really be into you. She just want to fight with you right now, or she want to she want to try you, right? You know, women always got to try you. You know what I'm saying? They always got to kind of put you in a position where you got to check them or you got to tell them to the fuck out. That's just how women are. Anywho, oh, I'm sorry. What's the 10-minute mark? Did I forget? Did I say? I didn't say my name. Oh my! It says 6 past commandments at the 10-minute mark. 6 past dice here, Mr. Lane. If you need me, we back, baby. Yeah, who else do an intro at the 10-minute mark? You ain't like that. Oh, you ain't like that? Yeah, I knew not like that. You need some Kefir? I had coffee in here earlier. Don't judge the glass. If I'm putting it down, I can't. No, man can't be vulnerable with y'all. But before I get back into this cook, oh my God. Well, this is my Father's Day gift to myself because I feel like, you know, I just do such a good job with just being a human. You know what I mean? And God damn, sexy bottle. Oh, mercy. Oh, I wish I could have bought 10 bottles of this shit. Oh my God. Oh my God. This is probably one of the best scents Bath and Body Works has ever put together. All right. Now, a lot of us on them budgets. So get you a big ass bottle of cologne for $30. It's fucking great. Okay. So a lot of people don't excuse me, understand the art. A lot of men don't understand the art of smelling real good. You know what I mean? Putting shit all together. And I could be wrong, but this is how I do it though. Having like hair grease that smell good is also like real good. You know what I mean? But I remember I was at an appointment. This girl was telling me how good I smelled and whatnot. I said, yeah, I got on basically the body cream. What is it called? Yeah, the body cream and the cologne. A lot of times I'll have the same like scent, right? And so for me, I think that like, you know, when you put it together, it makes it more of like, because this is based with cocoa butter. So it had like that scent mixed with the cocoa butter. You understand? But anyway, that whiskey reserve, fire. My other favorite scent that I've been putting on in every show, After Dark. You can try this, yo. Fire, okay? Fire. After Dark is fire. I was at work. Now I had it on with some other cologne. I had the body butter on, and I walked up to the customer and everything. I called her name, and she was like, when I got close to her, she was like, oh my God, you smell good. And she was like, hold on, I can't even think you smell so good. Hold on. Oh, I'm going to spray this shit real quick. See, this right here, that big bottle. So you go ahead and do you about 4 spritz in every spot. 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah, nigga. 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah, we smell good over here. Hella good. Woo! What? Listen. Your lonely mama is not safe around me. I'll tell you that right now. Yo, your mama that's in her 40s and her 50s it look like goddamn lunch. Don't leave your single mom around me. Play it for real. That's my niggas for real. I'm in a good mood. Y'all lucky. But anyway, so I think I touched on this whole thing with him being gay for pay, right? And I want to kind of play a few clips, and then we're gonna play a clip. Now I've already reacted to this before, but I wanted to kind of touch on it again now that I just started this channel, and I wanted to kind of see if we can go a little bit deeper. Pause. And let's go ahead and play a few clips, man. And it's gonna be about Nature Boy, him starting his journey as a gigolo and all that type of shit. And then we're gonna get to the part where he talks about wanting to be bisexual. Freaky bowl.
Because I had seen the only thing that I had in the gay clubs that were girls were transsexual, so it was the closest thing I could see.
All right, perfect. Listen, it's a good spot too. That person right there, yo, there was the tape online of basically, yo, I imagine that the guys didn't even want to do it. Basically, the guys have an orgy with just Duke right here. You see Duke? I don't know if you can, well, listen, the one in the black robe. I don't know if you can see one in the black robe. And the light-skinned nigga in the back on his knees, we're gonna get his name. His name is Solar. Solar is a whole deity. You know what I'm saying? Like he is, I mean, birds of a feather flock together. You understand? Birds of a goddamn feather flock together. So usually whoever follows the cult leader, they usually learn the game. So everyone has left this cult. And also people leave cults too. And a lot of times these people go and start their own group. All right. That's their hustle. These people were Nature Boy's hustle. People was his hustle. But when I saw that shit online and how, you know, he's recording and he's really excited. He's really happy. You know what I mean? But Nature Boy talks about so he's talking about his time when he became a dancer and he would be in the gay club. He said, oh, the closest thing I had to women in the gay club was a transsexual. And the first time it happened, this and that. I mean, I let him tell. I mean, let him tell this quiet story.
So one day I'm in this club and I seen this transsexual. She looked just like a girl, and I ain't even know straight up like that.
Why are you telling us that she looked like a girl? I mean, like, wouldn't that be like wouldn't that be the point of her being trans? Is that she supposed to see? He's again storytelling. Nature Boy is very good at telling a story. Because again, whenever someone starts trying to give themselves credibility, you know what I'm saying anyway. He good at telling stories.
She wasn't a girl, and she took me in the bathroom, and I had sex with her, and it was good. It was really good. I was like, damn, that was crazy. I never forgot that experience. That made me like them more. Like I wanted to have that experience again. It was crazy. So. Forgot the name of that club in Atlanta, but then I started dancing for women, and the women would pay you, but they didn't pay you like the guys did. So I like dancing for women because it got me a lot of attention from women, and women was like paying me to have sex with them, and I was a gigolo, and I was like, I would do massages and whatever. I became a male escort. I was a male escort for guys and women. Like I would do the massage, I would jack off for dudes. I did all that stuff, like, you feel me? Like, I was gay for pay. You know what I'm saying? Like, I was that word. I made a lot of money.
So let me tell you something. So another manipulation tactic is when someone removes shame from things that should be shameful or they know is shameful. Because again, the thing about morality and shit like that is that we have to share the same ideas of morals. But if I choose to break that, then what do? Something has to be physically done in response to that. It has to be some kind of reaction or punishment for people when they do shameful things. Because if not, it keeps going on. So that's why we shame certain things to make the world a better place, right? But Nature Boy, I think in a lot of ways, again, the internet is so dangerous because people who are unhinged and crazy can come across other unhinged and crazy people and say, yeah, you know what you're saying makes sense to me. And that also shows how people are more alike than they are different. All right. Like whoever's around you, like usually you guys are on the same wavelength and you guys are around each other for a reason. It's not random, you know? I'm done my key fair. Anyway, it's not random. So I also want to get to this next point. When you talk about when he realized that he wasn't actually gay. Hold on, man. Let me get to that point. Hold on, y'all. Because I made a point to. Oh, I thought I marked this one. Hold on, beloveds. Oh well, let's see if I can find it. Hold on, y'all.
So I had this guy. He was a movie director. He flew me out to LA, and I was gonna try to be gay. because he had a lot of money and I could make it like into the movie industry. I could make it up. You know what I'm saying? If I could be gay, man. If I could just be gay, I could have been. I was gonna set my mind and like try to be gay. That's what I was gonna do. I was gonna try to force myself to be gay so I could have a better lifestyle. And the money was the motivation. So we went out. Had the Porsche truck, all that shit, crazy. Took me all the way around, all around. I seen all the celebrities. I was in the crowd with celebrities and everything. I just could not perform. I couldn't do it. My dick couldn't get hard. The kissing shit made me want to throw up. Kissing the man just made me want to throw up. That shit was nasty. Just touching me made me like, you know what I'm saying? Kind of like, I couldn't do it. He just told me like, you're not gay. I was like, I know. And I was like, in a way I was mad because I couldn't be bisexual.
Yo, that's a wild sentence. I was mad because I couldn't be bisexual.
I was upset with myself because I was like, damn. Because had I been bisexual, nigga, I'd be in the movie industry right now. Nigga, I would have been up there. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, if I could have sex with dudes and women, shit. Nigga, I probably wouldn't be the Messiah. But,
Hey, yo, that's crazy. That's crazy foreshadowing. That's crazy foreshadowing. Matter of fact, and we're going to stop right there and go to this right here.
Which is a crime. It's who say that there are more. Today, I want to talk about Eligio 2022.
yeah, white people there. Reflection. This hard.
I'm trying to get the word.
Another time, she finally followers in for questions. Today, I want to.
Eligio.
Oh, we're just stopping right here.
Listen to me very clearly. The ending of the cycle and the coming of the Christ. I am the black man. I am God. I love myself. I love myself, man. You feel me? What I'm doing is beyond Martin Luther King. It's beyond Malcolm X. It's beyond. What I'm doing is beyond all of that.
New disturbing video of Eligio Bishop and cult members. Eligio Bishop, also known as Nature Boy.
He calls himself Bishop, Nature Boy, Christ.
Guess what? We have a God. We have our Savior. Yes. And his name is Nature Boy. Yes.
Yeah. I wanted to get there. That's what I wanted to get to. That was perfect. So this whole thing is kind of born from Nature Boy never really getting no love. One of the worst things that can happen to a human being is not getting no love from your mother. You need love from both of your parents, but it makes you a really hard person, right? And everyone got mommy issues, never everyone got daddy issues. But so imagine a person that never had a mommy or a daddy. You know what I mean? He never had them kind of conversations, and the people supposed to take care of him basically brutalized him. You know what I mean? Tried to pretty much destroy him. This guy was brought up in all kinds of pain. So he's never had normal. Oh my God, this shit smells so good. He's never had normal relationships, beloved. Let that sink in. Pause. So I want to touch on real quick when he says, "I want to be bisexual," and I want to get into the thinking of that and how that connects to what you see, because you know that story obviously was told kind of before the carbonation thing kind of takes off. It seems like it, because he seems more normal. As time goes on, you're going to see how he goes mad, and that probably was always in him to go mad. And that's another thing too. When people have crazy experiences at a young age, and you know, and they don't really learn how to recover from painful experiences. When you have like a supportive family or a regular family, that they help you to recover from negative experiences because they're pouring into you. But if you never really had anyone pour into you, then you don't really know what a family is. You just know that you like the attention. It was interesting that, you know, that he wanted to be able to Well, for one, he compartmentalizes everything. Like he says on one hand he doesn't like men, but he likes to have sex with men who look like women. I mean, those are still biologically men. Like you have to go through a whole different like system to enter that person. You know what I'm saying? Like, you know, that person guy has one entry and whatnot, and you usually don't go in there. You know, so it's very contradictory. Like, but not only that, he equated. So he felt like he could trade his sex for success. Very much like, you know, like a Jezebel woman, like a woman with the Jezebel spirit. I don't mean all women. I mean like women with the Jezebel spirit. In his mind, he think, all right, well, there's not supposed to be any price on intimacy and relationships. And this is the kind of person who has not. I guess you could say like, yo, like he has a service class mindset. He's thinking like, yo, I'm going to get it however I can, right? And also want to kind of get into the kind of people who are following him and who wanted to be there. These are the kind of people in your life that have made being weird a personality. You know what I'm saying? Or they make being a contrarian to everything that makes sense a whole personality. And those kind of people who, for the most part, they exhibit this behavior where they think that systems, orders, and structures, they don't exist for no reason, or they don't need to be there, or if they weren't there, nothing would be different. Which again, that's a low vibrational behavior because it means that your awareness of your environment and the way that things work. You know what I'm saying? Because you take in information when you see things and hear things and listen to things. And so with all of that, you put together that, oh, we don't need the government. We don't need schools. I remember one time I was giving a guy a ride in the lift. Back, you know, oh God, life was so, I can smell it. Oh my God, I can smell it. Well, I'm starting to get that smell. It's invading my nostrils. The smell of a shitty life. Things were so shitty back then. Anyway, I'm talking to this guy. Yo, he had like several wild takes. He said, yo, I think they should close all the schools. You know what I'm saying? No, the kids didn't learn nothing anyway. I'm like, nigga, close all the schools. He said that shit like it made sense. But that's before I understood that you cannot operate with assumptions when it comes to people that you do not know. Like most people kind of make the assumption that most people are sane and normal, and they say things that make sense. Some people just kind of say shit and no one's ever stopped them, so they have several wild takes, such as close the school. And what's going to happen if you close the schools? You can't leave your 5-year-old home. You can't. All right, well, fend for yourself, Johnny. No. Anywho, I want to touch on that, and I want to get into a few clips from this video about, and I think the gay for pay thing. So for heterosexual men, the idea of a man being intimate with them or penetrating them or the other way around can be very offensive because men don't generally associate homosexuality with being masculine. I'm not saying some guys who are gay are masculine, but we don't associate with that, and people in general don't associate it with that, right? And someone who can have the aspiration to want to change their whole sexual orientation for personal gain, that is dangerous. I mean, that person does not care. And someone that, listen, again, the more shame the less shame someone has, the more dangerous they are. Because that means they're always willing to up it. That's another thing about, again, manipulation. I feel like when he went to jail, that's when he, like, between going to jail and all the abusive relationships from older women, he picked up on how to control other people and manipulate other people, because all he's ever known is manipulation and abuse. So, you know, as we see as time goes on, that's what he uses. And let's just keep it a buck. When someone manipulates you and abuses you, that's still a relationship, and that's still built. It's still a bond. And all bonds aren't bonds that we actually like. Some bonds are just bonds. They're just there. What are you gonna do? It's a bond. Word is bond. So let me play a few clips from this draw right here, and I want to get into a few aspects of like the kind of people who thought that this made sense. Because the thing about when Nature Boy talks, he's not there's no purpose to it. There's no end game, and there's no this person. Even when you join carbonation, it wasn't for you to come there and then leave and basically learn from him and then go out into the world. The idea was to stay with the cult. You stay in the group, and whatever you do is within the group. But what he realized was that you crazy motherfuckers want any reason since to feel like you're normal for being crazy. I think, becoming more normal is when you realizing you're a little crazy. I went crazy a long time ago, but I channeled that part of myself into my creativity because it's just creativity, just your imagination. And it's also you understanding time and effort and energy, all that shit. Even every thought, that's time, effort, and energy. I choose to put my time, effort, energy into y'all. Shout out to Joe with the sickness. This message is for you. I made this video for you. See my hand? That's you. It's you, buddy. It's for you. There's a little coffee in here. It's lit, y'all. Got so much content coming. Now, there's a little passion project of mine. I know no one really cares about this subject, but it's an important subject, and it's really important to talk about things that matter and be creative and be artists about this shit because that's the kind of work that lives on. I'd rather have a video that maybe it takes a year for people to catch on and people watch it, and and there's so much food there. I want to make sure that when y'all come over here, I'm cooking. The 6 paths always cooking, but you gotta do a little work though. You gotta bring a plate. You gotta bring me some avocado oil. Give me some smoked paprika. You know what I'm saying? Give me a fast cell phone charger. Because we all gonna eat. I'm gonna make sure we eat, but listen, you can at least contribute. So bring your plate. And I listen. I was in here cooking, beloved. But again, we got to build up the self-esteem of these black men if you want to see things change. And I think that is changing. We're seeing more black men teach each other to have high self-esteem. And it's interesting how the women are responding to that. And and again, the social manipulation. The name calling, the shaming, the Alpha Male podcast. Even if that is true, the Alpha Male podcast or the concept of it is reactionary. It didn't come out of nowhere. If men didn't relate to this content, then the content space wouldn't be big. Men don't follow things that they don't relate to or find useful. It's just the jig is up, and everyone's going to have to play fair from now on when it comes to this whole dating shit, myself included. Listen, it's about I count. Seven, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 'm missing somebody. All right, but at least about 15 people that if I am either I didn't mind not getting what I liked or I didn't mind basically kind of going through the motions and whatnot. I'm like, I could have, had a nice time with it. I'll put it like that. You know what I'm saying? But I can't be making y'all content and here I am doing, I don't want to say weirdo activity, but basically like using somebody. Like, you shouldn't use people. If you don't fuck with somebody like that, don't be spending time with them. Don't put them energy into it. I mean, it's all good. It ain't nothing personal. All right. But yes, but that's what it's becoming. That's a little sidebar. But anywho, let's get into this cult, man. So around 2020 was when again he's one of the first people that I observed that I when I started realizing people who say they're vegan, a lot of times they have a lot of the same behaviors. They always like it's like, all right, well, they always start smoking weed. People who smoke weed do a lot of the same shit. And they all go to the same phases and whatnot. And a lot of that shit comes from having a weak sense of self you know what I'm saying, and you're not confident in who you are, and you know, and you are not able to manage your anxiety, a lot of times you just need to eat some more eggs. All right, so that your brain can produce more dopamine, and eat some more beef, and your brain can produce more dopamine. If you don't have enough of this stuff going on, you know what I'm saying? Yo, my life changed so much. I became so much more capable when I started eating a lot more eggs. Like literally, like it changed me as a person. That's how much nutrients is in some goddamn brown eggs. You understand me? Anywho, so a lot of these people who align themselves with plant-based lifestyles a lot of times are very susceptible. I'm sorry, or they're very it's very easy to pull them into stuff like this, you know, because this kind of talk that Nature Boy is doing sounds good to them. You know what I mean? Let's go ahead and get into some footage here.
DeKalb police arrested Bishop in mid-April after a woman told them she had left a sex cult.
I watched him whip a girl with a leather belt.
To understand how.
Yeah.
Oh, yes.
Yeah.
Well, he didn't. He didn't get bail.
A risk to intimidating the victim. There's also a risk of flight, and also the risk of committing an additional felony. So therefore, bond will be denied.
To understand how we got here, we need to go back to the beginning. Before Nature Boy was Nature Boy, when he was Eligio Bishop. According to an ex-member, her name is Erica Carroll. She said, quote, "I know his mother and father died while he was a young age, so he was in foster homes, in and out of foster homes, and a couple did adopt him, and there was some abuse going on in that situation, so he had it hard. But we've all had it hard. Everybody had it hard. He's originally from New York, but he ends up in Atlanta, Georgia. And according to him, he said that while he was in Atlanta, he was a stripper, a gay escort. He did gay porn. He says that he was also a model, and he claimed to have worked, I'm not sure in which capacity, on the Monique show, the stand-up comedian Monique. She had a talk show, and he claimed that he worked on that show as well. He also had a criminal record. In 2009, he was charged with forcible entry, and then in 2011, he was
that means that he was trying to break into someone's house.
Charged with theft and aggravated battery. At 16, Nature Boy was born.
I love my self-reflection. Share the video. Peace.
At first, he called.
This is when he starts to brand himself a lot better, so he has a lot more taglines. So one thing that you do when you trying to, you know, basically, people like this can do world building in the real world. You got to think about this shit. My man created a world. He created his own world on some R. Kelly. I don't know why I think about R. Kelly when I think about that, but I guess it's because I remember like Sparkle talking about how the whole video, the story, the idea of it, everything, like he had that all figured out in his head, but he couldn't really read like that. And people who are really creative, who have these, you know, they have these kind of minds, you know, can create a whole reality. But and again, the way when I say reality, it's like a person who can put ideas in your head, and then a series of ideas that kind of come together in a way that says, okay, you might be on to something there. So I love myself. So he's not even. When he says I love myself, you're gonna hear him break down. Well, in some of it, I heard him break down that the idea is that if we both say I love myself, then we both loving ourselves, but that's why we don't say I love you. I don't know, it's kind of weird. But let me go ahead and play some more of this. So you're about to hear from the first cult member.
His group the Ethereans, but then he changed it.
Like a goddamn Bitcoin? Y'all should have known from then. He was calling y'all Bitcoins. Y'all are all Bitcoins, them y'all bank accounts. You money. He see dollar signs on y'all. That's why y'all the Ethereans. You see what I did there? Y'all deserve it.
To melanation.
They called themselves Melanation.
Yo, that's like some like, I mean, for the most part, Nature Boy was just really, I mean, if you would have filmed more, if they'd have just put that content out, it would have just been like a really woke lit OnlyFans, because it's basically what people can't like. People also join cults to just kind of be to do orgies. That's like the main point of being in the cult is the orgy. You know, that's why everybody's happy in the beginning. That eventually, you know, the cult leader only he can smash at that point. You know what I mean? He starts putting locks on y'all. He starts to slowly cuck it up. People are getting cucked. You understand? Danger.
Melanation in the building. We got the whole fam today.
Melanation gets its name from melanin, the pigment in our bodies that determines our skin color.
Nature Boy told his followers that he was leaving hell, aka the United States, aka Babylon. He was going to leave, did I voice correct? Babylon. He wanted to go off grid. He wanted people to come
off the grid. Off the grid. I remember, my OG, you used to talk about how he would go up to the mountains and whatnot to go camping. You know, turn his phone off. You know what I'm saying? And just be out there. And I remember like him also talking about how he was younger, he would have blackouts. He'll get so angry that he'll black out, which sounds crazy. And I didn't realize that I knew him. I know him now, or the version of him that I knew was the more mature kind of version. I didn't understand how far he had come in life. You know, I think he did say he used to have anger problems and everything. And he was Caribbean too. A lot of Caribbean people be having anger issues. And I think a lot of it be because a lot of Caribbean people they really love the vegan lifestyle, so they'll always promote that to each other. And a lot of times they'll get into being vegetarian and vegan and stuff like that. And some people could do it, but for a lot of people, it makes their mental health problems worse, and it makes them more irritable and more angry. And it don't help, you know. But they'll want to do it because again, black people love. I think that we so traumatized from how white folks did us that we don't always realize that we doing something because it's not white, because they don't come from white folks. It sounds like it came from us. But it's like, yo, we have to establish our own way of doing things first, so that kind of order and structure can come from us. That's why self-esteem is important. You can't build shit if you don't believe you can build it. So women have to support the idea of boys feeling strong and having purpose for themselves first. Because how will they know to protect themselves? But women also know that, because again, if I don't teach my son to protect himself, that means that it'll be easier for someone else to come along and get ownership of him. Because for the most part, modern women see relationships as ownership, where I can control what you do and tell you what to do, but under no setting or circumstance do you tell me what to do. Maybe if we doing it and I like it enough, you know what I mean? But you know, and again, I mean, I don't accept that. But a lot of men are in those kind of relationships. I was talking to the homies, and basically he was with his woman, and it was down south and whatnot. And basically, in so many words, this real big dude and his wife was there. I think they was at their house and everything, and the dude asked my man, "Yo, do you want me to make you a plate?" And he said, "Make me a plate." You know what I'm saying? He said, "Yeah." He said, I think in so many words, the big dude was like, "Yeah, you know, and here we gotta make our own plates." You know what I'm saying? Like, she gonna get mad if she see the women doing anything for the men. It was something like that. It was something to that effect. It was like almost unbelievable, you know. And I'm like, yo, a lot of black men are in relationships like that, especially if she big, and especially if you can't take care of yourself. That's usually what you're gonna get. You gonna get some women that operate like she got a big old Johnson. All right, like she got a big Johnson, and she could definitely knock you out. Black women be really act like they can knock you out, like they really have the power that if they believe hard enough and get mad enough that they're gonna turn to the Hulk and just knock you out. Like, I remember I heard my homegirl talking about that she had a conversation with this guy, and he got real mad at her, and he started going crazy. You know, he was wrong and all that. But she was talking about it again. She was talking, you know what it was? She was talking about it as if she had to be embarrassed. Like she was a dude. Like, yeah, you know, people think because I joke around and whatnot, this and that, I be doing that because my attitude is disgusting. Another thing, that's not a thing you should be talking about that you do. That's like saying, yeah, so the reason why I don't eat there is because I'm going to poop all over myself and it's going to stink. That's how y'all sound when you talk about having an attitude and talking about it like it's not having an attitude. Nasty work, okay? So I want to just play a few joints here. We almost at the hour mark, man, and I'm going to stop because I love myself. Oh, see, I'm already learning. I love myself. Let's play from here. Let me find my points.
With him, they'll create a community in nature, hence the name Nature Boy. And he started to get people who wanted to join him. First, he went to Honduras and he would show how we're living in Honduras to get more people to come. He claimed that he was the chosen one. He also told his followers that they were chosen. I think he even has a video of how to tell if you're chosen.
Yo, black people cannot tell you what Sage does. Like black people love anything that's going to just, they love doing any easy spiritual work. You know what I'm saying? No, spiritual work is not easy. It takes time. It's more than buying some rocks. You got chicks telling you that being spiritual was buying some rocks and playing with them.
The idea was to have this paradise on earth and disconnect from the material world with all of its problems. And so one of the original members of this group is Erica Carroll. She is now an ex-member and she calls it a cult.
I call it a cult now, yes. Yes, I do.
So Erica arrives in Honduras and Nature Boy picks her up. And one of the first things he does is give her a new name because her name Erica, that's her Babylon name. He gives her a new name, which is BP, stands for Blueprint, because she's one of the first early members of his group. A few months after arriving in Honduras, they drive in a van, they go to Costa Rica. In Costa Rica, this is what Erica said happened. Quote, she says, we slept outside in tents. We wouldn't live in the house. We would get up, eat fruit because we had to eat vegan or vegetable.
Yo, how you put people in tents?
And we would get to work. When I got there, I felt I had a pretty good self-esteem and self-confidence. But after every day being there and told, you're not doing this right, you're so wrong. When I left, I felt like my self-esteem was so low. I had no confidence. We'd have to sit in these long meetings. He'd say we'd be facing our demons while doing that. But basically, he's just projecting onto you what he has going inside of him. It was a lot of verbal and mental abuse. Erica then describes the breaking point when she knew she had to leave. That's when she saw Nature Boy basically hitting one of the women.
He slapped her up and punched her a couple of times, and then he told her to go in the tent and give him oral sex. So that was the breaking point for me.
When certain members would leave, new members would come. And when the new members came, it was the same process. You would give them a new name, get rid of your Babylon name, and of course, money. He would take their money. He would tell them that money was a distraction from their worship and they shouldn't be connected to the material world, but that he needed the money so that he could, create the safe space for them to worship him. Of course.
He was extorting money from a young person.
So I literally gave my money to him.
How much money did you give?
Well, I just gave him my debit card.
Somebody donated me about $300,000. It's all gone now.
And then, of course,
it's all gone now. Yo, having 300K and say it's all gone now is crazy.
On these live streams, he would ask for money, for donations. He would constantly mention his Cash App and he would say, don't hate, donate. He had something against bathrooms. I don't know what it is, but he discouraged bathing and also pooping in toilets. He said that the only place you should poop is on a tree, like at the base of a tree. That's where you should poop.
What's Nature Boy like? Because he's quite the character, isn't he?
Yeah, when I watched the video, I felt like I need to be with them. I was with Mel Nation within 2 weeks.
You don't use it.
All right. Well, for one, I just have to comment. What is it about seeing a bunch? First of all, that's just freaky. Like you saw a bunch of black folks talking about how if you're basically you are like I don't say, you don't have no melanin. It was called melanation. How did you see something with a bunch of black folks in the sun, especially just giving, you know, you get sunburned. You saw that and said, I need to be that. Those bars are crazy. But these are the kind of people that were following him. And again, the thing about is interesting. What Nature Boy realized was that, yo, in every job he had, it was about exploiting people and giving people what they want. And he said, all right, well, one thing I can get him is I can get him a Messiah, because a lot of people, especially black people and people who are crazy, because people who are crazy don't have a strong sense of self. So they always feel as though they need to be fixed or something's wrong with it. That's why people will take, you know, that's why when people have any kind of affliction, you know, they'll talk about it all the time. You know what I'm saying? Because it becomes their focus. It's easier, right? And people who had a kind of problem, they're more attracted to stimulating experiences. They want to change their diet. They want to go live off the grid. Anytime you hear somebody talking about living off the grid, yo, listen, that's weed talk. All right. I remember the first time I heard that shit, and the first thing I thought was, well, how you gonna make money? I remember it was the girl I used to knock down. That should have been knocking down. And I remember I came and like her friend came to the door. It was confused me. It was this gay girl, right? At the time, she wasn't feeling good. Well, no, my friend wasn't feeling good, and the girl had cooked for her and everything. And I don't know. I had got the girl something. She had needed something, and I bought. I think I bought something to eat, and she was hungry, and wasn't feeling that good. And you know, and I think we still did it. I think we still did it. But anyway, I remember she was talking to me about what the girl had said to her before she left. But basically, she was visiting, she was staying, and she said, yeah, she live in Thailand now, and she said, yeah, basically was talking about like, yeah, you know, like what's going on with you, like you getting sick, you taking medicine, you know, like you're the one who taught me how to eat this way and whatnot. You talking about being vegan and whatnot, you know, and I realized that they both crazy. But anyway, but I think she was talking about how they had this plan to go to Thailand and live off the grid. And the first thing I thought was like, all right, if I go to Thailand and live off the grid, I mean, like, how would y'all sustain your life? I'd say, like, how would that work? But people who you know get high a lot of times, like, yo, like I said, they end up going. I know I mentioned this earlier about, you know, my mentor who was going to nature, but they have this thing about going into nature, you know what I'm saying, and being away from people, which I get it, you know what I'm saying. Some people just being in society at this level is not for everyone, and maybe it does make people go crazy, not really having their own space, you know. But anywho, we're gonna play a little more.
Toilet. Well, we really don't like using toilets. The soil belongs to the trees, and I'm in an abusive relationship with the tree. If I'm not giving it back.
And also, you don't need soap, just water, like in the natural waters in nature. So, as you can imagine, there were lots of odors going on. You know, Lori Vallow and Chad Daybell, I have like a bunch of videos on them. They would mix like Mormon things with New Age things and like occult things, and it was like a mishmash. This is kind of similar. He would mix like Abrahamic religions with New Age spirituality, yoga, as well as like, what do you call it? Astrology. That would explain this video that I found where he's basically dressed in Middle Eastern garb, and then he's sitting above his followers while he talks about astrology and the ego.
What is the ego?
That's a good question. The ego. What is the ego? You can tell me what the ego is.
The ego is one sense of self.
One sense of self. Exactly. The ego is our conscious mind, simply. And we have taken something called pride, or what we protect ourselves with as a protective mechanism For instance, if you're a Leo or you're Aries, you might have a lot of pride. So what they call the ego would be your pride. You see what I'm saying? And we mix up the ego with arrogance.
So what was crazy about these people is that it's not as obvious to them that he don't really know anything. Oh man, he doing yard work. Hold on, y'all. Oh no. My bad, y'all. Anyway, yeah, so people like this, it doesn't even occur to them that that's how I think that's something that Muslim people wear. I'm not sure, but that seems to be how like people who are Muslim would dress. But this is a whole character that he started working on. You know what I mean? And he really let all this shit go to his head because again, he has no foundation on what makes a man a good man. You know what I mean? So, and that's how we get this is nasty work.
These are characteristics of the conscious mind. But the ego is simply your astrological program. Yes? I love myself.
Yeah, so this is when he starts to kind of really get his act together in terms like he having his whole like glossary and all these different things and different concepts that he developed and everything. So we had the 333 and I love myself and all that shit. And again, crazy people are stuck in
giving
shit.
Dubai, me.
Pop up here.
So this is the white girl, and I think this is like one of the first like white people that he let in.
Ray's here. Wait, isn't Nature Boy a prejudice? Isn't he racist? How does he have white people there? Reflection. This hardware that you are now looking at, this hardware is a mutation hardware from the archetype. You cannot become the archetype or be the archetype without having the archetype software consciousness. Thank you.
And this is what changed a lot of things for Nature Boy because this brought him a lot of negative publicity because Kayla was, first of all, she was Canadian and she went missing. Like she joined them, but she didn't tell anyone. So her family thought she was missing. So this whole thing happens where they're looking for her, she's missing, and then they find out she's with Nature Boy in Costa Rica, and people are like, she joined a cult. So then her mom goes out and she's talking to media and she's like, my daughter, she's joined a cult, she's brainwashed. And then the media, like the Canadian media, go to Costa Rica looking for her. They end up finding Nature Boy and doing an interview with him.
We are inside of our own bodies.
Nature Boy.
Each individual holographically. Go ahead.
I want to talk about the girl that we know as Kayla.
I don't know a Kayla.
Sunray.
Oh, Sunray, yes, she is healthy. She is beautiful. Oh my, she is the happiest that she says she's ever been. We all encouraged her to just go live and let people know that you're okay and speak your own mind and tell them what's going on because she's actually afraid of the people that she ran away from. I made sure that she got in contact with the police station there in Canada. I also made sure that she got in contact with her mother, and I'm a black man. And she's a white girl. She's in a white girl form, and I'm in a black man body. And I also know that it might seem to the world that I'm holding her hostage. So I wanted to make it clear that, call your people, let them know you okay, because I don't want no problems on this end. That's why I'm doing this interview with you, because I don't want any problems.
So she can leave if she chose to leave.
Oh, yes.
In response to this, Kayla's mother comes out and she says, quote, I was happy to hear that she was okay. But in the background, you could hear Nature Boy more or less telling her what to say. The conversation was very disturbing, she said. He was saying that they were her family, and it was a very disturbing conversation. Kayla is not thinking clearly right now. I think he has her brainwashed, and she is more or less doing whatever he says to do. According to Tammy Reed, Kayla's mom, Kayla has mental health issues, and she feels like that's why she's sucked into this cult. The thing is, though, she's an adult. And so at first it was a missing persons case. When they found out that she was in this cult, but she was willingly with them, she came out, she said, I don't want to be with my family. I want to be here. They really couldn't do anything about it. Eventually, though, for whatever reason, Kayla decides to leave and she does this live stream with Nature Boy where they explain why she's leaving.
So, I'm going back to Canada mainly because of the safety of us, I don't want anybody getting hurt because I'm here.
So why did you leave in the first place?
We can't own.
Why did you leave? Why don't you tell them why you left in the first place? Did I call you like, hey, come join us, be here with us? Am I controlling or manipulating your mind?
I was gonna leave Canada even before I found nature, so I got put on pills because I want to leave.
So basically, her family, she's saying that her family just basically put you on medication because you try to leave, like she tried to go to Hawaii before she got here.
Yeah,
I didn't know this. I didn't know, but I did ask her before she got here, do you have crazy parents? She was like, well, they don't matter. I'll throw my phone away, because we had someone here else that was white that got snatched out of here before. There's another thing I want to address. It seems to be that you might not be able to join me if you're white. If you want to join Nature Boy, you're not allowed to join me anymore. What you are allowed to do is do what I did. I'm leading by example. I haven't been the most pleasant personality. I will admit that. I've said the
I think we're gonna stop it there. So this is where no shame is getting him, because when people are following you and you just change up a serious rule, because at first he said if you didn't have melanin, the whole point of melanation was to have a whole village of people that were melanated. And then eventually you start seeing white folks joining melanation. And we should tell you that, again, that weed talk is when weed talk go too far, right? But it's my theory that this is the same way that he was willing to be gay for pay. He was willing to sell people what they wanted, they wanted a messiah. They wanted someone to come fix them. They wanted someone to make them feel normal for being weird, or make weird the normal. And that's just not so. That's not how it works, right? So he gave them that, but I think that he thought that if he allowed more white people to come, his business is people. So he would think, you know what, they may have access to more money and more resources. But anyway, we're at the hour mark, man. 6 Paths Dice, Mr. Lane. If you need me, please like, share, and subscribe. I love y'all, man. Yo, this whiskey reserve, I'm very excited. Maybe want to break out my Oprah voice. All right, man. Y'all be safe, y'all. Peace.